Hey everyone. Boy, have I found something interesting for you. No, seriously. But before I get into it, let's skip the unnecessary introduction where people go on about themselves for paragraphs when it has nothing to do with the story. This post isn't about me. It's about something I found. I'll give you 3 quick facts about me, and then we'll dive right into the darkness. My name is Alex. I'm 22, and I found this journal in a coffee shop. I go to this place across the street from my campus to do homework. The library? Too quiet. The lounge? Too crowded. The Wi-Fi there? Slower than death. And my peers? Yeah, don't get me started. So I haunt this little corner of the coffee shop nearly every day. I've staked out a table near the window with a perfect view of the cute barista. Just a pleasant distraction in the corner of my eye while I grind away. But yesterday, something strange broke my routine. A journal just lying there, abandoned on the table like it was waiting for me, ... When I opened it, that's when things got unsettling. Page 1. This pen is amazing. This is a journal my mom bought me as an early Christmas present. The cover is soft leather, smells just like a new car. I'm hoping 2018 is a better year for me financially. I'm too young to be stressing about money. And get this, I found a gray hair the other day. Can you believe that? A 19-year-old with gray hair. Weird, right? I don't really know what to write about. I just like the way my fountain pen scratches against the paper. I know this first entry doesn't make much sense, but I'm just jotting down the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, my hand hurts, so I'm going to practice some calligraphy now while I watch The Office. She goes on to write, "The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog" in different fonts, over and over. December 4th, pages 2 and 3. I was off today, so I didn't do much. It's only 4:30, but the day isn't over yet. I'm just sitting at my desk drawing, while The Office plays in the background. I've been feeling lonely. Sure, I talk to people at work, but it's not the same. Living alone is empty. Maybe I should get a dog, or a roommate, or a boyfriend. No, not a boyfriend. I'm not ready for that. I can't be. That thought ends abruptly, like she was afraid to even write it out loud. It's 7:48 now. Had to run to the store for panty liners, Mother Nature's monthly gift. Yay me. Tomorrow's a long shift. 5 p.m. to close, so I'm going to relax tonight. Maybe I'll write more if something interesting happens. If not, good night. December 5th. It's been a busy couple of days. Nothing special. Just the usual holiday rush, students cramming for finals, couples on dates, the regulars glued to their laptops. It's the usual crowd, only tenfold. I didn't get off until 10 p.m., and you can probably tell by my scrawl that I'm exhausted. Good night. December 9th. I just got off work and something strange happened. It's been bothering me since Saturday, but I was too tired to write it down. I've been working nonstop for the past 8 days, but I finally have tomorrow off, so I'm going to sit down and recount what the hell happened. Last Wednesday, I was eating some Burger King in my car before my shift, listening to the new episode of Sword and Scale. I was just minding my business when I noticed this man, a few cars away. He was staring at me, obnoxiously. Now I know what you're thinking. Journal, you can't see me, but if I must say so myself, I'm a pretty cute girl. I'm used to people looking, but this guy, there was something wrong about his gaze. And that's where the entry ends, like she dropped the pen mid-thought. Creepy, right? It's like the more I read, the more I feel like I'm being drawn into someone else's life. Life that's starting to spiral into something dark and disturbing. I don't know what's waiting on the next page, but I can't look away. Would you? He was smiling. But not the kind of smile a man gives when he's interested in a woman. No, this was different. He looked at me like I was a giant chicken leg and he hadn't eaten in days. His expression was wrong. Twisted something dark lurked behind it. It was malicious, almost hungry. That grin has burned itself into my mind, like it's been branded there. Pages 4 and 5, I sketched it. And every time I look at the drawing, it sends a shiver down my spine. It's terrifying, that grin. Maybe I'm just overthinking this. Maybe I'm being paranoid, right? That's what I told myself that morning. So I parked in a different spot, brushed it off, and went to work like normal. I finished my shift, went home, and tried to push the memory aside. Just a weird thing that happened, until today. Nothing seemed off at first. The day was slow, mundane Monday, right? My usuals came in the morning, and lunch was the same routine. But then, I saw her. The coffee shop was empty, and I was wiping down the counters when the door opened. A woman walked in, white with huge eyes and mousy brown hair, and she was smiling. That same twisted smile. She didn't say a word. Just walked straight to the counter with this slow, deliberate pace, blinking in this unsettling, almost mechanical way. Her smile didn't budge, not once. She walked in grinning, stood there grinning, and left grinning. You ever seen It Follows on Netflix? Yeah, she moved exactly like that, stiff, rhythmic, robotic. I tried to focus on her unnaturally large eyes, but she looked more like a cartoon caricature. It's hard to describe, but the whole thing left me feeling exposed, vulnerable. I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. I have a few days off, and I'm going to spend every minute digging into this. I'll write down everything I find, because the worst part is, I'm alone in this. December 11th. There's more in this journal, but it took me forever to type all this out. I'll have to come back tomorrow to upload the rest. Trust me, it only gets stranger. And here's a weird coincidence. Every morning, the barista who used to write Alex on my coffee cup had the same handwriting. But I haven't seen her in a while, pages 6 and 7. 5 I just heard something outside. It sounded like a car pulling into the driveway, but it didn't sound right. Anyone who visits me knows the gravel is uneven. You have to park in front of the house, or you'll hear it crunching under the tires. But this car? It crept along like it didn't want me to hear it. I just lay there in bed, frozen, my eyes wide open, my body paralyzed with fear. What if they're just turning around? But no, they weren't. The car rolled into the driveway so slowly, barely 2 miles per hour, and then it reversed out. Usually, the gravel is loud as hell when someone pulls in, but I could barely hear it. Why were they being so careful? Why were they trying not to wake me? I want to call my mom. I want someone here. I don't want to be alone, but I don't dare move. I don't even want to turn on the lights. What do I do? What do I do? It's morning now. My phone buzzed. I got called into work, but I can't bring myself to leave the house. What if someone breaks in? What if it's worse? Even writing this feels like a false bravery, like I'm trying to convince myself I'm not scared. But I am. I'm so scared. Screw it. I'm taking a shower and I'm getting my ass to work. I'm stronger than this. I have to be. I'll update later. December 12th. Oh my God, it's happening everywhere. Am I losing my mind? Am I seeing things that aren't there? This morning, on my way to work, I stopped at a red light. There was this old, beat-up gray Dodge Neon beside me. Just a quick glance and there she was, smiling, her face pressed against the window, her big, unblinking eyes almost touching the glass, staring right at me. When the light turned green, she didn't move. She just kept staring, that smile never faltering. The cars behind her started honking, but she stayed frozen, watching me as I drove away. Everyone behind her moved around her, like she wasn't even there, but she never moved. She just stayed there. Pages 8 and 9. It wasn't the same woman from the coffee shop. This one looked different, but the smile, that smile was the same. What's happening to me? Am I being followed? Am I being hunted? I don't know how much more of this I can take. I hope to God this is just some twisted online prank. Maybe it's a bunch of bored teens getting their kicks, playing some cruel joke. God, I hope that's all it is, because if it's not, I think I'm losing it. No, I know I'm losing it. My mind is fraying, falling apart at the edges, unraveling into madness. Crazy girl, that's me. Always looking over my shoulder, jumping at shadows. I've lost my grip, haven't I? Why did this have to happen to me? Sometimes I laugh uncontrollably, and then I break down in tears. It's like a switch laugh, cry, cry. My thoughts spin out of control, and all I can do is turn around and stumble back home. But when I did, oh God, everyone was staring at me. And they were all smiling. Why is everybody looking at me like that? I need help. I called the police, but the man on the other end just laughed. He didn't say a word, just this eerie, hollow laughter that went on and on. I called every number in my contacts, but it was always the same. Laughing, just laughing. Pages 10 and 11. No matter what I post online, no one takes me seriously. Why isn't anyone helping me? Something is wrong, so wrong, and I can't do anything about it. I'm trapped. They want to hurt me, to wear my skin. Oh God, it's so horrible. I can feel it, this dread, crawling beneath my skin like worms. Please, dear Lord above, hear my prayer. Don't let my mother suffer. Please let me see her again. I just want to see her one more time. I love her. I love my brother. I love my family. Please don't let them hurt me. But then the tone changes like a flip of a switch. Oh man, what a great day. I've got the whole afternoon to myself, and I'm buzzing with energy. After I got home from work, I took Max out for a walk because it was just so beautiful outside. I love the flowers in spring, so bright, so vibrant. Purple is my favorite. One of my neighbors has this incredible garden, roses, tulips, all sorts of blooms, and a cute little bird bath too. The birds love it. They splash around without a care. I wonder what their insides look like. God, I'm in such a wonderful mood today. I haven't felt this alive in ages. Here's hoping that 2016 brings better luck. Okay, my hand's cramping. Time to practice my calligraphy while I watch the birds' insides. And that's it. That's where the entry stops, like it's slammed into a wall. I flipped through every page of that journal, looking for anything else. But that was it. I'm sitting in the coffee shop now, typing this out, hoping anyone might have answers. Before I left, I went up to the counter and asked the barista if the girl with the long black hair was around. I showed him a page with her handwriting, and he told me she was supposed to come in yesterday, but she never showed up. I said, "That's too bad. I think this belongs to her," and handed him the journal. He took it over to the employee lockers, opened one with a master key, and slipped the journal inside. The locker still had her jacket and a phone charger in it, like she just vanished in the middle of her shift. Then he locked it up tight. I went back to my seat by the window, staring out at the street, thinking about the whole thing. She seemed like such a sweet person. I used to daydream about asking her out on a date, just once, because she was so bright and kind. I hope she's okay. But that last page, it's eating at me. It's like a splinter in my mind. It raises so many questions. Why did she write about the flowers in spring when this all went down in December? Maybe some people would think that page was out of order. But no, it's the next page in the journal, I'm sure of it. Was it a manic episode brought on by fear and stress? And who is Max? Did she get a dog, or did she already have one? For anyone doubting the timeline, she described that Monday as slow and mundane on page 4. But December 11th last year was a Sunday. The timeline lines up too perfectly to be a mistake. And then there's the repetition. She wrote the same phrases from page 1, but twisted. 2018 became 2016. And instead of watching The Office, she wrote about watching the birds' insides. Whatever that means. Now the journal is gone, locked away in that coffee shop locker, and I have a pile of homework waiting for me. But all I can think about is her about those last pages and what they mean. Maybe we can figure this out together. You're in this with me now, after all. I doubted anything else would happen. I thought it was just some strange journal I found in a coffee shop, nothing more. Just a weird blip in my life. December 17th. I don't even know what to say. I thought this was over. I'm not gonna lie and say I forgot about the whole thing. I couldn't. In fact, I haven't been able to get it out of my head. Every day, I went back to that coffee shop, hoping to catch a glimpse of her, hoping she'd come back. But she didn't. Yesterday, I asked one of the employees if the girl with the long black hair still worked there, but he just brushed me off. Said he couldn't give out that information. What a prick. But there's a reason I'm writing this, and I'm sure you already know that. After class this morning, I got into my car, ready to head straight home. Some friends were coming over for a chill kickback. As I settled into the seat, I reached for my backpack to toss it onto the passenger side, and that's when I saw it. There it was, sitting there, the journal, placed neatly, upright, like it belonged there, like it had just been waiting for me. My blood ran cold. I don't know how someone managed to get into my car, how anyone could have done this. It was 11 a.m. on Sunday. People everywhere. Dozens of people outside, just going about their day. I didn't want to touch it. God, I wanted to throw it out the window, chuck it across the parking lot, and leave it behind. But deep down, I knew it would come back. Somehow I knew, so I didn't even bother. I took it home. When I got there, I flipped through it page by page, desperate to find some new clue. Most of it was the same eerie entries, the same frantic writing, until I hit the middle of the journal. There, scrawled across the page, was a message. And it was in my handwriting.